Welcome back, my dear ladies. Welcome. I'm your host, Tanya, owner of discoveryourfemininepower.com. And I'm really happy to have you back here on the channel. This is yet another one of my interviews with amazing Aquarian age women like you and me. And today we have a very special guest, and this is Dominika from the UK. Hello, Dominika.
Hi, Tanya. Thank you so much for having me today.
You're very welcome. It's my pleasure to have you and speak about your paintings.
Mm,
So, Dominica is a painter, and I want to take you right into the nitty gritty with my first questions. So, Dominica, you last time we spoke, you explained to me uh, how you make your paintings and what the process is. Could you please tell us how you do that and what happens when you paint?
well, it's a very good ground question. Thank you, Tanya. And it will probably take me a little bit to answer that because there's several aspects to those paintings. So I was born in Poland, and I was attending the School of Art in Poland. Everything was completely normal, like for any other um, arising young artist. You go to school, you learn, you follow your passion. But then when I actually went to move to a different city to start Academy of Fine Arts, and I start making my first solo exhibitions. Certain people from my life, like friends who knew me personally, they start noticing that the paintings that are figurative paintings, they always include a posture or a portrait. They start representing certain people in my life without me painting them intentionally.
Wow.
And at first I was laughing, or I was just ignoring, or I was just saying, you it must be just a coincidence that you recognize this person. But the most important part of it was that, see, every painting had a title, and the title almost started becoming like a prophecy. So let's say that someone recognized a good friend of mine that then betrayed me, and that was actually the prophecy of the painting. But still, I was very young then, and I was putting that down to a coincidence. Since very young age, also I was having, a lot of spiritual experiences, really weird one. Um, and around that time, I started repressing everything because we didn't have internet, we didn't have really access to many books, apart from one, which was the power of your subconscious mind. So I wasn't putting those two together, that there is some magic going on behind the paintings. I was repressing my spirituality. Then the life took me on its own journey. I changed the country. I moved to UK. At the same time, I actually stopped painting for at least 10 years. I lost my confidence in UK. I didn't think that my paintings could be desirable like they were in Poland. In Poland, I was very successful. I felt kind of, lost in a new culture, new language, new people, no friends, and that kind of affected the creative side of my life, and I stopped creating. I think apart from few single commissions, I didn't really paint much over the 10 years. And then the universe stepped in and I lost my job of 10 years. That was a job in the office where I was, working robot. I mean, I did love the job. Every job is good because you can always learn new things. But first of all, I lost this job. And I thought to myself, my son was only one then. And I thought to myself, okay, so what can I do? I mean, if I'm going to go to work, that before I could work from home, I'm going to only make money to pay for his nursery, and I won't be seeing my kid. And I thought, okay, so the only thing I can do is actually paint. But I was scared because it was 10 years gap, and it's like you being a footballer. If you stop using your hand, you are losing, the flow. But I didn't have any other choice. I had to jump. And when I jumped, the universe started supporting me. I was in the right place, meeting the right people. I was winning award after award in UK, in United States. I was awarded by Her Royal Highness Princess Michael of Kent in UK. Madonna acquired my painting. Everything was just, growing. But I was creating more, and I start noticing that the paintings are creating the prophecies again. I have goosebumps.
Wow, that's
And
amazing. Amazing. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
Mhm.
it was again, at first I was a little bit like impossible. I was not believing in this kind of things. And then my awakening came. I divorced. I moved to a completely different place, different house. My awakening was triggered. I was creating again. The paintings became even more powerful, manifesting my own reality with very small, tiny details. Noticed that I start to implement like numerological codes into the paintings too. And I thought, enough is enough. I need to know what is going on. So I set an intention to the universe to send me a person who will be able to answer those questions. The only thing I knew about myself when I'm creating was that when I'm painting, I'm not thinking. Because when I start to think, when I was going with my logical mind, I would kill the painting. Normally, I would never think, go and paint very fast. It was like a trance. It was very, very energetic, expressive. It was a flow. There was no question, no doubt, nothing, just pure creation. And I put it on the wall and then it manifested. Put it on the wall and it manifested. But very quickly after sending this intention that I would like to know what is going on, I came across a woman called Marina Jacobi, and she is a quantum physics pioneer from New York. And I watched an interview with her, and she also is channeling the Council of Nine, and the Council of Nine is multidimensional council, galactic council. And so I start to attend her Saturday classes about quantum physics. And I also signed up to have a one-to-one session with her, channeling session, because I trusted her. I had this instant trust. I knew she was sent to me. So I set up this one-to-one session with her. I had to wait for it like 1 year because she's very busy. And when we met, she asked me to show the paintings to her, along with the codes and everything. And she said very calmly, like, oh, forget that you've been creating decorations for the wall. All the time you've been creating holograms for your own reality. This energy in those paintings is not from planet Earth. It's from a completely different part of galaxy. And I had to sleep on it. Okay, it was a lot. But once I slept on it, I start discovering more. Now I know where this energy is coming from. I know where those codes are coming from, and I'm now fully using my art to now help others and create holograms for their realities. But I'm going to allow you to ask more questions because I feel like I'm talking and talking.
Yeah, you gave a lot of answers already to all my other questions. Let's go like maybe little by little, step by step. You mentioned something before, something very important, trust. So you said you lost a job, but you trusted that you could do it on your own. I think that's a very big step. And don't you think that normally most people, especially women, also would be like very scared to, okay, can I fully rely on this with making enough money? How did you feel in that moment? And what helped you just to do it and to continue do it, even maybe if the money didn't show up so quickly in the beginning?
I mean, thankfully, the money showed up very quickly, and it was a lot of money. The money were just flowing in. That's when you know you are just in the right place doing the right thing. But it's a very good question because it's actually something that as you know, not struggling, but working on right now with the trust. Back then, this 7 years ago, when that happened, I had a beautiful 1-year-old motivation running around the house. And I was brought up as a woman that doesn't really sit on her, bum and do nothing and completely relies on men. Maybe that's actually something I should learn. But at that time, I really wanted to do something. You know, I like to be, I like to do, I like to be needed. I like to, I don't know, expand and learn and just be in a motion, let's say. Um, so I knew I had to do something. And the only thing that was really literally coming to my mind was the only thing I can do is to paint, really. I mean, I gained a lot of, office knowledge. I was actually working as a credit card fraud prevention manager. So I was chasing credit card frauds. I've learned a lot, starting from, like how to use computer different programs and applications to how to deal with clients all over the world, how to chase the frauds, how to process the credit cards, how to charge back refund and all those procedures. So I gained a completely different chunk of knowledge that I never thought I would do. So it was great. But yeah, when I lost this job, that was a big push. If I wouldn't lose this job, and by the way, like 3 months before, I was kind of feeling something is coming, I could just feel it, feel it, feel it, and it was just a push, because I always felt so fulfilled when I was painting. It was such a cleansing, refreshing, uplifting process. In the office, I wasn't getting it. I did like that, but I wasn't getting that. So I tried because I knew if I'm not, I said to myself, if I'm not going to try, there's always plan B. I can create like a small school of art for, kids or something here locally. So there was a plan B. But thankfully, I didn't have to reach for the plan B because the paintings were just, living their own life. They were reaching those people. I literally didn't have to do anything, Tanya. I was the right people. Some were seeing the painting, been contacting me, putting my details forward to some other galleries. Suddenly I had galleries working with me, all those international trips to exhibit. And it was everything you can dream of. Mm.
Wow, that's really remarkable. It's probably not the usual way when people start their own
Mm.
artistic or creative endeavor like that.
They're usually scared. Yeah, usually scared because what we are being told most of the time, you will not make any money as an artist.
Yeah, not only that, even if they know they're good, there's always like somebody like you getting immediately clients and corporations. Um, well, my mind now, maybe that's the masculine side. My mind says that doesn't normally happen like this, but on the other side, I also work on my feminine side and bringing out all these feminine things. That my other side says it's completely possible when you're in the flow. That's how that's how we should be working. And
Mm.
it's so easy, actually. Yeah, and I can speak about this for a long time as well. So it's always us blocking that. Um, yeah, but it's very remarkable, and that you were able to dive so deeply into the flow immediately and effortlessly.
It was amazing. I mean, it was almost I felt like it's not appropriate to post on Facebook that I won another award, I was like, oh my God. But that's how it was. And I always appreciate every award, especially, after having this 10 years break and being from a completely different country and suddenly you are successful in a new country. Um, it was big, and I had to appreciate myself for that because it was big achievement. It was.
Yeah, of course. Amazing. For all those listening right now and you want to keep listening and go over to her website and look at the paintings, they are amazing. It's domart.co.uk. The
Mm,
links will, of course, be below in the description. She also has an Instagram. It's Dom Art Studio. If
mm.
you want to head over there. But let's continue our interesting talk. So I would like to know a bit more about what happens when you start to make a painting. You explained to me last time it was almost like a ecstatic way of being, a trance.
A trance, yeah.
Elaborate a bit on that, please.
So, because I was completely unconsciously doing that since a very young age, it wasn't something that I had to learn. So when I started to create when I was much younger, I was looking for an outlet for my difficult emotions. And I liked the fact that I didn't think because thinking was painful at that time for me. So I was just naturally stepping into creative flow. And that that was continuing over the years. So right now, the whole process looks like that. I always create with music. I can't create without music. But remember that music is a specific frequency vibration as well. Now, the songs that I'm listening to are not coincidental. I'm always receiving a specific songs from my spirit guides. Right now, I know. Now, once I have the music, I kind of connect with the music and I feel the emotions. I never know what I'm gonna create, but I have complete trust. I do not worry at all. It's like it's so easy. I know it's gonna sound cheesy, but it's so easy. But because in a way, I don't have to think, I don't have to do anything. I'm becoming a tool. And once I have this musical download, I never sketch, I just right away create. And I just allow it to flow. When there is a moment that I stop because it's a technical thing to check the composition or something, I only allow it for a very short time and then I'm jumping back, no thinking, just creating. And literally the hand is working itself. I don't think at all. I don't worry if it's going to be perfect or not. I know that it is the way it's supposed to be. Period.
Okay, wow.
Um,
And you
and
told me that the process is very short, right? You paint it very quickly.
yes, yes. I mean, you've seen the paintings. I mean, the regular size is square meter, so it's 100 centimeters per 100 centimeters. So that usually takes me maybe for up to 6 hours. Even though I use oil, so if there is like a oil finish, I may need to do some, finishing touches after that when one layer dries. But it's a very quick, fast job, and I'm usually because I'm channeling this energy, I'm usually very hungry, like an animal after that. But it's amazing because I'm getting so many visions when I'm painting, not even about the painting, but if it's a portrait commission that I'm doing that now for women, I'm being shown what is going to be healed within the physical body, what kind of aspects will be healed, chakras. I'm being communicated with their ancestors and spirit guides and spirit animals. I have so many animals coming, during the creative process. For example, 2 weeks ago, I was creating the first divine masculine portrait of my friend, and I was creating him. It was really nice flow, and suddenly I see a round shaped pendant with the infinity symbol. It just in front of me. So I message him. I think I should paint, a pendant with infinity symbol on your neck. Do you have something similar? And 2 minutes later, he sent me a picture of him holding that in his hand. So I already seen it without even knowing it. So yeah, so it's a great trance work, but I think that the biggest breakthrough for me happened once last year when I started consciously channel June last year, and I was doing a lot of channelings during the summer. So the spirits were basically speaking through my mouth, and I was just recording myself. And one day we had this conversation because when I was 19, I decided to not use my Polish name as a signature on the painting. And the only reason for that was that it was long and difficult to pronounce. And a friend of mine suggested, why don't you use D.O.M. And I said, yeah, what does it mean? And he said, it's a shortcut from Dio Optimo Maximo. Um, and I said, okay, but what does it mean? And he said, it basically means from Latin that the gift that you have comes from God. And by painting, you are giving gratitude back to God. And I was raised as a Catholic then, so it was very aligned, it was very aligned. And I was using DOM all those years. Everyone knows me as DOM. Everyone thought it was a shortcut for my own name, so no one was asking me about the Latin meaning. It was great. until last year. The spirit guides asked me, Dominica, do you actually know what Dio Optimo Maximo means? And I was like, of course I know. There's the humility. Uh, it means that I have a talent from God and I give gratitude back to God by painting. And they said, really? So check again. And 19 years later, having the internet on my mobile, I was like, right, okay, let me check in Wikipedia. And I'm typing in Dio Optimo Maximo. And what I see, the greatest God. And they said, for all those years, you've been signing each painting with the name of the main artist. You haven't been creating on your own. You were transferring the source, creative force through you. So that was big. That was big.
Exactly. I wanted to guide you to this question, actually, to say that DOM, which is your signature, is not short form of your name, Dominica.
Mm-hmm.
And you already expanded it very beautifully to say that the greatest. It's not the great, it's the greatest. And
Latest.
yeah, and just before we started our interview here, we were talking about humility, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it makes perfect sense. Also, when I think of when sometimes clients tell me that they're very thankful for me explaining something, I just realize that I'm just the instrument of God. I don't
Mm-hmm.
invent anything, I don't own anything. I'm just a tool.
And just the
We're
tool.
just a tool, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
And then when you're just a tool transforming, transmissioning something,
Mm-hmm.
um, you're doing the right thing, or you are in service in whichever form that could be.
Absolutely, yeah. Especially that those paintings have such a profound healing abilities. They can shift so many things that do not serve you within you, so quickly. And recently, my spirit guides explained to me on a quantum physics level how does it really work. So um, I know that the codes and the energy is from the 12th dimension. So if we take the third dimension that we are living in and the 12th dimension vibration, you can only imagine how much higher those paintings vibrate. um, I think the only negative part of it is that they also sometimes interact with electronics. So, for example, laptop can start flashing or the TV can start flashing if you have like the painting in front of it. But when we take a single person being in the now here, and we know that this person has this infinite number of probabilities of potential future ahead, right? Everything is happening in the now, but we say that there's this infinite number of probabilities of the future. So what does the painting do when I create the portraits of women's and men's higher self, which is the soul's blueprint, the highest potential? When I create that with this such a high frequency, it creates a portal, energetic portal that does not allow you, even though you have free will, obviously, but it creates like a sucking in like a channel portal that will take you directly to your highest potential, which means you will go through this necessary, healing, but much easier and much quicker. So you can reach this highest potential, this exact, outcome of your future, instead of, fluctuating and going somewhere else. The other thing is that whenever a woman comes and commissions a portrait, that's usually their higher self sending them, because that's their destiny kind of to step into this highest potential. So it's amazing because in a way, the energy of the paintings and their clients' higher self do the whole marketing for me. You know what I mean? I mean, obviously, I built my presence, but I know that I can't go and do like a sales call with a specific painting. I think you should buy this one, because I know that those paintings, they already have their clients.
Yeah, exactly.
They already have the clients.
You touched on many topics again in this answer. Maybe we need to explain about the different levels of vibration already. We don't
Yeah.
know if the people who listen know about those, the frequency levels that you were talking
Mhm,
about.
mhm.
Can
So
you quickly explain this, please?
I'm gonna just give very basic and brief description. So right now here on Earth, we are living in a third dimension, and we've been living in a third dimension that includes positive and very positive and very negative emotions. And since I think 2012, the vibration of planet Earth and collectively ours as humans that are living on Earth start to rise up. So once the Earth start to raise her vibration as a planet, we unconsciously had to start doing exactly the same to match her vibration, because otherwise we wouldn't be able to be here energetically. So I think that the tipping point was really reached last year when we've been on the lockdown. And actually, I believe lockdown was to go within and to actually do the healing work. A lot of triggers been happening for many, things that weren't healed or worked through, lessons unlearned, they were surfacing and people start struggling. So I had a lot of clients who've been really, start to suddenly struggle with things from early childhood. So I was helping women to go through childhood, teenage traumas, and sexual traumas, and things like that. Because in order to shift to a higher vibration, we really need to let go of the past. And the only way to let go of something is to accept it and forgive it and learn a lesson from it. If you hold a if you hold dense emotions, feelings about someone or something that happened, your vibration stays very low, and you start to struggle because you feel you want to go be somewhere else, but you are attached to your past. So right now, this is actually the quickest shift, energetic shift that planet Earth is where it was ever going through. Before, she was sustaining two dimensions, the 3D dimension and the 5D dimension. But right now, Gaia, that is now being called Arya, the new Earth, said no more. So she is going to 5D, and 3D is not allowed. So all those dance need to go, and we are collectively shifting. We are going through those timelines, dimensions, and we are shifting to a higher vibration where there is no dense emotions, there are higher vibrational emotions. And this is the destiny point for now, for humanity. I mean, everything already happened. We're just watching a movie, right? um, so there is like, that's why we kind of experience like we are almost living in two different worlds. We have still a lot of restrictions, people are waking up massively. um, yeah, so we can experience that. But then the 12th dimension, it's a completely different story, because 12 dimensions the highest dimension. I had a chance to experience 12 dimension once when I was painting, actually, and I connected with my galactic family that is in the 12th dimension. And through this connection, I start to remember my life in a different place. I know that I am an artist there too, in the now, so it's all in the now. And I'm transferring those codes, and I actually brought this art here to the third and fifth dimension from the 12th dimension. This is my mission here, to bring a healing new modality of art to humanity. And I experienced, and the only thing I can say that 12D is such a high, loving, pure, and light vibration that when I jump out from this trance, the next day I was crying because I was missing my family. I was missing that feeling. I specifically experienced the difference, and I've understood why Earth needs help, but not mine, obviously. It's like collectively from all the people who are stepping up to their mission now. I'm sorry. Uh, uh, and uh, and yeah, it was just clear because it's such a massive difference. Earth needs our help. So, so if anyone is interested about dimension, you can easily get access to many videos, definitely on YouTube. But this is the basic information about different dimensions. So we are going from the third to I'm sorry, it's my son, from the third to five, and The 12, well, it's a different planet, so not Earth.
Ah, okay. Yeah. So, and you said that your paintings have a healing effect on the people who buy them, who obviously they are already owners before you create it, but
Mhm.
you say that the painting has an effect to take the owners higher to a higher level. Did I understand that correctly?
Yes. So what happens? Your higher self knows you the best, and she knows what needs to be healed on a physical or energetic, emotional level. So when I'm starting to work on a painting, I'm always asking for permission to work with higher self of a client, and I'm allowing to transfer everything onto the painting. So whatever there is that needs to be healed, I usually feel it within the physical body. I'm writing down the messages also for each client. So each client receives a painting, portrait, which is a portal, and a letter from the spirit guides as well. And you don't have to worry about anything, because honestly, whatever there is that needs to be healed, it will be triggered and you will be taken through this healing process. So you might not be aware that you are lacking humility, for example. And this lesson, or this part of you that needs healing, will be triggered. But there's so many beautiful things happening for all those women that have the portrait done. They change the path, or they stepped onto their path. They are changing careers. They feel fulfilled. So these aspects of their life needed healing too, you know. And the beautiful thing is that they say, I don't know what happens. It just happens. They suddenly shift. They suddenly have those answers. They suddenly feel what they wish to do. Another thing was, one lady, I have goosebumps. One lady, she suddenly decided to uh, completely change her whole life, get rid of the house, get rid of the valuables, and step onto a path as well that she always wanted, dreamt, but she was always scared. So there was always ego. So suddenly ego is being quietened. And she says, for the first time in my life, I feel I am happy, I am happy. When the paintings arrive in their homes, they say that the whole room is literally filled with energy. It's a completely different energy. Sometimes when I finish, when I'm working the trance, I'm not seeing the whole. I'm just like, my vision is, switching. And then when I see the whole, when I finish, sometimes I stand and I go, wow, wow, like it's amazing. It's beautiful. And I remember one of the last portals that I opened, but that was a huge portal, the love portal, and it was very quickly sold to Montreal. And I was like, I only had it for like 2 weeks. I wanted her, to stay on my wall for longer. But obviously, I'm happy that the love portal found its owner so fast. And I will be soon doing an interview with the lady who bought the love portal, because she will be explaining what the painting did for her.
Which
She
is that? Which one is that?
love
Do you have
portal.
a printout or something you would like to show us now?
Yeah, can I share the screen?
Yes, please.
Hold on.
There are many of your paintings that I like as well, Ah, Love is the Portal. I see it on your Instagram. Very
Hold
nice.
on. I'm just looking for portals. Okay. I'm gonna show you the portal of portal. Um, do you need to give me like permission to share the screen? Host disabled. You need to give me permission.
Try again now.
Oh, okay, I got it. So this is the love portal. Yeah, so this is a big, I mean, it's like square meter, and yeah, it's when you have it on your wall like that, Tanya, in the frame, it just changes everything in the room. It's absolutely changing everything. Like I can show you, I have the newest portal, which is the portal into the unknown. I would strongly recommend this portal to anyone who is dealing with trust and feminine actually energy, because this is the portal that will take you to the trust in the masculine. So as a feminine with the full trust, you are stepping um, into this portal, into the unknown. I have it here.
You show us as well,
Yes,
yes.
yes, 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 yes. Let
In
me just
case
find it.
this doesn't show on the video, we can find a way to to add a link below to the two paintings, but you also
This
see them in the gallery on your homepage and
this
in the
this
Instagram. Yes.
this portal is actually one of the strongest one as well, because it specifically heals the womb, see, and the creative part of ourselves. It highlights the importance of the womb. There's a lot of codes around the womb here, and this is, the feminine energy, the magic sacred energy is there. This is actually the portal itself, because we fully need to connect with our feminine, with our warmth, to fully embrace our feminine power and step into the unknown and fully trust the masculine energy and the creative force. So yeah, this portal is here on my wall right now.
Wow. Amazing. Yeah. Thank you.
Do I stop share? Yeah.
Yes, you can stop sharing.
Yeah,
Thank you for showing the pictures. I think it's
you're
good.
welcome.
We can see what we're talking about. Yeah, that's amazing. And many of your paintings are very beautiful. They speak to me, and I think, yeah, it's very private and it doesn't speak to everyone the same way.
It's exactly as you say, Tanya. You put it in the exactly right way. Yeah, I'm so grateful that you got it, because uh, I think I asked one of my friend coach recently, is this art for 21st century? The reason why I asked this question is I'm feeling so excited, and I feel really grateful for this talent. Only recently I found out that I'm bringing that from a completely different dimension, which is great. But to many people, it's going to sound like she's crazy. I trust it in with my full heart. I've been doing that most half of my life, exactly 19 years, well, a little bit more. Um, but to be able to fully share it with people like you who get it, and even when you say it speaks to me, and it speaks a specific thing for me, this is the biggest blessing. This is the biggest blessing in it all, because if I would be here creating it just for myself, that's a little bit sad, isn't it?
That's true, yeah.
Mm,
No, you're not creating for yourself. Yeah, but as you say, the painting has a owner already before you made it, because it already existed
yeah.
before the spiritual world, like every thought that we have. So, and this is pure alchemy. Every thought that we make, it already exists. It's done. It's inevitable to show up. It's only a matter
Mm,
of time, because we are blocking it or the other person is blocking it. So I think it's the Buddha saying, be careful of your thoughts, because they become words and words become actions. And it's so true. But yeah, and it takes so much energy to remember this every day. Like and to understand that we are constantly creating it all, and there is no time, there is no timeline that we think we have now, because we are in the earth, trapped in the cross, the
mhm,
time and the space. It has to exist because we are living in the physical, but in uh, in the metaphysical, in the non-tangible world, time is an illusion. It doesn't exist. So everything you want is already there for you, and it's only
mhm,
created because you were just thinking of it. And the same with the painting or anything you want to create and manifest. And I know the word manifest is it. Most of the women understand that men maybe have a harder time, but they do the same, just not knowing that it's the word. But anything that you want to manifest or experience or make show up in your world is only there for you. It's only a matter of you allowing it in and
Mm,
fully accepting that you already own it.
yeah, like my coach Lenka said, uh, everything already is. Anything already is. Yeah, it's like I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so amazing that you are here to experience this and bring all these wonderful paintings out. It's a
Mm.
pure blessing when you can work like that and so easy. The flow comes so easy. And you just said before, and I noticed it on your Instagram, you started to paint the masculine now. You started to
Yeah,
paint this one. It's so beautiful.
and that was a specific request because initially I was asked to create this divine feminine oracle project, which is beautiful because we are creating portraits that then will become decks. And women who are being painted, they're creating the messages that are based on their own life experience. So we are leaving a legacy and we are passing on our experience and knowledge to others. But then I was asked to bring on the masculine, and they my spirit guides explain we are aware that the masculine and feminine energy, they've been in such a huge distortion for so many years, especially after the wars, and we are carrying those energies from past 7 generations. And this is also the time when the feminine and masculine during the ascension needs to balance. The feminine needs to go back to feminine, the masculine needs to go back to masculine, and they need to create this fiery romance in between, because right now we are often having this conflict in between. So they explained to me that by bringing energy into masculine portraits, from this 12 dimension, I'm also helping to bring the balance in between. So I'm now invited men also to take part in this divine masculine project. So my friend Eddie was the first one to take part. And we will see, who's gonna come next. Whoever already exists in this project, they're gonna come.
Yes, and this is so important that we bring the masculine and the feminine
Mm,
back to balance again. There is so much that was being repressed in the last, it's maybe 2000 or more years, we don't know. And all the history as well. And ties into the alchemy. We are not what we think we are. And also the masculine and feminine has been, I don't know, it's been taken away from what it should be. Like I speak a lot about that as well, and that's why I have you here as well. I want to have the feminine re-emerge because it's in imbalance. So the feminine is the receiving and the masculine the giving. And lately it's become so far off the chart that it's become very difficult to even strike a conversation about this with certain women or also men. It's become kind of a war, and it shouldn't be like that. There's so much pain when I see these men and women in the pain, or when I see or when I hear the conversation, I feel so sad and so sorry, and at the same time also recognize it's always starts with your own journey, right? It starts with me and solving my own problem, and through this then being able to help others. And you said that earlier as well. You said that at the beginning about the paintings. So yeah, you now
yeah,
help other people as well. Can
yeah.
you that? Mm.
So over the past 3 years, over the 3 years, I've been constantly creating, but I also became a quantum quantum healing hypnotherapist, which is a past life regression by Dolores Cannon, because often we are, dragging some energies from past, from different incarnations. And I became a coach that is helping women to go, I call it, I help women to go back home, which is the unconditional love, self-love, which is going back to God. I don't really actually like the word coach because I'm not coaching them. What I do, I share my knowledge and my tools during one-to-one or group sessions, whether we are working on inner child, inner teenager, um, uh, relationship with parents, ancestral lines, traumas. I give them my knowledge and my tools. And by doing that, I give them a full, spectrum of possibilities, what they can actually do and how they can heal themselves. Obviously, if there is an aspect that they need my support, my energetic support, I can hold the energetic container for them. And but it's more, we need to remember we all are equal, we all have the same powers. We just sometimes need someone to show us the way and heal our mind, take this illusion, of our eyes. So I do this, but obviously I help with paintings, and this is the most amazing. Sometimes I combine the two. So if someone wants a portrait, we do the portrait, but in the same time, while the triggers are happening, the painting is starting in interacting with your quantum field. I already give them the tools, what to do, how to help themselves in order to heal. So I'm blending them to those two, because over the past 3 years I gained so much knowledge. And also when I start to channel, I've been downloading specific modalities of energy healing that were never mentioned. I created the term of, well, I'm not sure if I created, but I believe I never heard anyone bring to a light the term inner teenager, which was specifically highlighted by my spirit guides, that this is a completely different part that needs healing. It's inner child is one, but the teenager is a completely different story. And I downloaded two really powerful energy healing techniques from my spirit guides. One is called the timeline redesign, and the other one is called timeline transmutation. And those are two techniques that on an energy level, they are bringing instant shifts. Like after 5 minutes, you literally feel gone, 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 gone. But all this is based also on the fact that for when I met Marina Jacobi, this woman that was checking my paintings, I start going to her quantum physics class, and once the quantum physics clicked, and I understood how this quantum world, the energy world, is working, then it's so easy for them just to drop like a vision, and I see the relevance in between those, for example, to people or situation, what is mirroring what, is it from the past, is it from the future, is it from another person? And I'm putting those puzzles together for my clients, and it's like a clear view, like if you're going to remove this from your mirror, you're going to remove this as well. So it's beautiful. It's beautiful because it's not about going for 3 years to a counseling and over, talking about the same thing and never releasing anything. These are techniques that very quickly just shift you to a completely different, lighter way of being. Plus, I'm now starting to work with women who are also dealing with addictions, because addictions are, you know, a mirror of something much deeper. It's not how it's being called and given to us by the society.
Okay. But so this is called quantum healing hypnotherapy that you say, that you just explained, right?
Quantum healing hypnotherapy. This is one of the type of sessions I offer, but this is a past life regression. Everything else I said is either on a one-to-one or group basis what I teach. And everything that I downloaded, I received from my spirit guides is not mine. This is not mine. I didn't invent that. They gave it to me, so I'm sharing that with others if it brings such a quick help.
Okay, and that's a one-to-one session. Can people book this from your homepage, or how can
My new website is being done just now, so I'm gonna. Um, I think there are contact details on the domart.co.uk website, so you can always contact me if there's anything you need help with. So I always do a consultation, free consultation, where we can actually attend certain issues in your life and see what is the best way for you to move forward, to to go back home, basically.
Very interesting, yes.
Because not everyone, will be, for example, willing to work in a group. Some people prefer to work on one-to-one. For some people, it will be enough to come to a quantum healing hypnotherapy, which takes 5-6 hours. One session is 5-6 hours, so it's the longest session. But some people prefer to book 5 hours packages where they come, every week for 1 hour, and we are going strategically. We are making a strategy, one by one, attending different aspects in their lives. And some people love to work with groups. I love working with groups because you know how group is working. We always attract the group where every person has exactly the same vibration somewhere inside, and we can support each other. So it's beautiful.
Yeah, exactly. Um, I also prefer the group. And for those who don't know yet, I teach women how to buy cryptocurrencies. And I prefer the groups as well because of the energy it attracts, and then we can connect. And the outcome is always much bigger than the sum of the parts. The outcome is always more bigger than the sum of the parts. So once we hear this expression for the first time, we have to stop and think about it. But it's always like that because of cooperation, and that's what I do. Also, I connect women around the globe, like Dominica and other women who
Mm.
were on the channel as well, to create something absolutely beautiful, to create a cooperation of women and to have the divine feminine return and to help each other, raise each other up, because that's what's needed right now. So yeah. Yeah, but it was very nice what you said about the quantum healing hypnotherapy, and we are very interested about that too. Maybe once the homepage and all is done, we can have Dominica come back and speak only about that.
Oh, it's amazing topic because actually a woman called Dolores Cannon who invented this method, she was the one who triggered my awakening. And unfortunately, she passed away in 2014, but I finished her school in Arizona, and her portrait is now hanging in her office in Arizona too. So it's a privilege for me that a woman that changed so much in my life. The knowledge that she brought, oh my God, you know what, shifted everything. And I was reading her books, then watching her materials, then I became the practitioner of this method. And this method is blowing our mind because this is the deepest theta brain levels hypnosis. So it's the time just before you fall asleep or wake up. Therefore, clients sometimes do not remember this hypnosis, but everything is recorded for them. And this is a journey through time and space when they are reliving and they are literally being in those past lives, answering questions, explaining what is happening. They are often on different planets, so we have resources. How does it look on different planets? Different dimensions, different beings, and your mind is just expanding. And then at the end, just before we take the client from the trance, we ask for direct contact with the higher self. And that's when magic starts, because suddenly client who is in a trance, in a hypnotic state, instead of saying I am seeing this and I am experiencing this, changes to, because Tanya should know that in this lifetime she should be doing more of this, or she's doing amazing with that. So the it's the third form, right? So the higher self steps in. Sometimes the tone of the voice is changing too, and the client usually brings questions. for this session. So the practitioner me, I have these questions for the higher self, because you may, you may ask about anything from like very 3D things, like should I change the job, should I change the house, is it my is he my soulmate, am I going to get married, to a more deeper, questions. Am I on my right path? What my life purpose? Why did I experience that in my childhood? How can I heal this? How can I heal that? You can bring any questions, and usually most of the times all the questions are being answered by the higher self, which is the part of you that already is God. So you're basically have a recorded conversation with God that is, giving you the answers. Plus, the last thing we do is we are asking to perform the full body scan, full physical body scan, and we are asked for instant healing. So this is big. Mm.
Yeah, wow, that sounds very amazing, and we can't wait. We can't wait
Mm.
until you're back to speak about that. Cool. Wow. Yeah, I think it's a good point to finish our interview here. It was very inspiring, very
Thank you,
inspiring,
Tanya.
and as always with all the interviews. And we are very blessed to have you and to have your amazing art, and we can
Thank you
follow.
so much. It
Good.
was lovely to share this with you. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I thank you for explaining everything. And yeah, we will post all the links to your homepage and your contacts below. Is there anything you would like to say as we close the interview to anyone listening to us? Or do you
Mm,
plan to make some kind of workshop anytime soon? Or do you want to just give a message to women
I'm
listening?
gonna, yes, actually, I will be doing some new workshops that I received a message that I should be helping women. So I have a group on Facebook called My Queendom, the Divine Feminine United collective, sorry, and I often do group healings there, but I will be doing some lives where I specifically been asked to answer certain questions, and I will be doing some new programs soon about, one will be the road back to mom and dad. So we will be working on restoring those roots, because without the roots, the tree can't really give any fruits. It can grow. I will be creating a program about masculine and feminine energy specifically, because there is still kind of, a lot of misunderstanding what is what and how does it work and how does it work together. And another one, I will be preparing a program about dealing with addictions and what actually addictions are. So I will be passing a lot, huge, very valuable knowledge for women or men who are struggling with addictions and compulsive behaviors and attachments. In general, it's still just an attachment, but I believe that the knowledge, again, that I've been preparing for the past 2.5 years is quite revolutionary and will help you if you are struggling with addiction or someone else is struggling with addiction, will help you to see this issue from a completely different perspective, easier, and yeah, and you will know what to do in order to remove that from your quantum field, if you wish to do that, if you're ready to do that
Great.
without going to AA or other organizations.
Great, thank you. So the name of this group is My Queendom,
My Queen, I'm gonna post it
and
in,
that's a Facebook group, right?
that's a Facebook
My
group,
Queendom United.
and my Facebook page is Q Within. Q Within.
Okay, we will post a link below so people can go there. All right, that's good news. Thank you so much, Dominica, for our
Thank you.
interview. And yeah, all the best. We will speak soon again, I'm very sure. And I
We
hope
will.
this was informative for everyone listening.
If any has any questions, they can always leave a comment and I will happily answer them.
Good. All right. Have a nice evening, Dominica. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Have a nice evening. Bye bye.
Ciao. Bye bye.